Shalom, everybody. Shalom, family. This is Brother Moshe Ben Yahuda Yisrael, or Ahkmen. Got another live stream for y'all. I don't know what decided me to go live. I wanted to take the night off, but I said, let me do a live stream, see who show up. I know it's still early in some of y'all area. It's 8:36. So I'm going to see who's on. What's on your mind, Zion? What's on your mind? Had a great live stream earlier today on the Buzz Tweet Radio Show, hosted by Sister B Sparrow. Shout out to Sister B Sparrow, the host of Buzz Tweet Radio. You know, we talked about various topics. You know, the main topic we talked about on that was the sister that started her own natural feminine hygiene products called Honey Pot. The Honey Pot it's a honey pot feminine products for women, like body wash, feminine hygiene products. And they sell it at Target. And a lot of white females was hating on the sister, talking about, you know, she was being racist, which was a bunch of BS. How she being racist? She just want to look out for the next generation of young black girls. Ain't nothing being racist about that, looking out for the next generation of our people. Because that's the natural thing to do. You want the next generation to be better off than the current generation or previous generation. But you see, WS doesn't like that amongst our people. They want our generations to continue to be ignorant like the previous ones and not to be better than the previous ones or current generations. You know, that's why I always did say black ignorance is $1 billion industry. It's $1 billion industry. But yeah, what's on your mind, Zion? You know, I was just lurking on these YouTube streets. You know, like I said, once in a while I pop in on a manosphere and see what's going on with them buffoons. Ain't nothing new going on with the buffoons. Same old. It's the Civil War. You know, you got the SYSMB versus the non-SYSMB, the select versus the non-select. It's a bunch of hog wash and a hot mess. And the black sector of YouTube just shows that our people still can't get along with each other. That's why I say they should have never given social media to some of these Negroes. You know, social media is a failed experiment on our people, race, and the human race as a whole, but mainly our people. You got brothers bad mouthing sisters all day on social media. You got sisters throwing brothers under the bus all day on social media. It's just a hot mess. It's like we the only race of people that want to slander and tear each other down in front of the whole world. And that's not cool to see. You don't see other groups of people doing that on social media. You don't go on Facebook or Twitter and see a Chinese man bashing Chinese woman or vice versa. It's to show you, man, it's self-hatred, man. Our people have that deep-rooted self-hatred in them. And it's not right. It's not right, man. We got to get it together. We got to get this together, people. And I think it's just a lot of unhappy brothers and sisters on these YouTube streets, like I'm talking about in the black sector of YouTube, because if they on there all day debating and talking about the same redundant BS, you know, something ain't right. They not happy. They empty inside. They empty. A lot of our people are broken. Got a lot of broken brothers and you got a lot of broken sisters out there. And it's sad. It's sad to me to see my people that way. You know, it's sad to me to see our people broken like that. But it's part of due to the punishments and the curses of Deuteronomy 28. But a lot of our people don't want to acknowledge the spiritual aspect of this punishment. They don't want to acknowledge it. They want to look for all kind of other solutions, but at the end of the day, when it all boils down at the end of the day, our people have a spiritual problem. And that problem is with the Most High for being disobedient. What's going on, Brother K. Judah? Getting ready to go to the work, getting ready to go to the corporate plantation. That's what's up, brother. You have a safe drive to your job, brother. You have a safe work shift. You know, another, like they always tell me, another day, another dollar. Another day, another dollar. Well, I should say another work night, another dollar, because you work overnight. But it's all good. And you're used to it. So it's probably that work shift probably gonna go by fast. You know, because my work shift, that was last night. Yeah, I had to work. That's when I missed the live stream the other day. That was Monday. I had to go in at 11:30 to 8:30, man. After I took my lunch break, man, the rest of my shift went by fast. I like that. You know, because when your work shift starts, it seems like it's gonna go by slow. But after that lunch hour, it's second half. I call that second half. Second half go by fast. You know, especially if you're busy. Shalom, Sister B. Sparrow. Shalom. I really didn't want to go live, but I say, man, let me go ahead and go live. I said, let me go live. Either if I didn't go live, I would have probably been lurking around the YouTube streets, or I would have probably been playing PS4, been playing the game also. But yeah, you got a lot of buffoons on these YouTube streets, though. You know, that's why I say we got to stop letting these content creators define you who you are, Zion, with these labels. You know, these labels. You got a lot of snake oil salesmen on YouTube that's selling you false promises. Say they gonna build schools. Say they gonna do this for the people. But they constantly saying, run them donations. Internet beggars, run them donations. Yes, I'm talking about Dr. Umar Johnson, the Prince of Pan Pizza. Yeah, allegedly they say he homeless. I don't know if that's true. They say he living in his car, but he preying off the people though. All that money they give him to build that school, he pocketed that money and spun it on himself. Likewise, y'all be blessed and safe. Likewise, but yeah, they got a lot of snake oil salesmen on these YouTube streets and social media. All they want is to hustle people, race hustlers. Ain't no different from Pastor Pochop. We gotta realize the majority of our people, man, are struggling out there. They hurting, they struggling. But you can't tell that to some of these snake oil salesmen. They prey on our people gullibility. Always have them. They prey on our people gullibility. But the best thing for Dr. Umar Johnson to do is just to humble himself and come back to the Most High. That's the solution for the brother. You know, drop all the Pan-African BS. You know, stop calling yourself King Kong Consciousness and the Prince of Pan-African, aka the Prince of Pan Pizza. You know, but that's what a lot of these brothers and sisters need on these YouTube streets. They need to just humble themselves and come back to the Most High. And then maybe things will start going right in their lives. But they don't hear us, though. They don't hear the servants, though. You know, you got servants on these YouTube streets, you know, trying to teach people how to save themselves. You know, shout out to the fellow servants. Brother K. Judah, Ariel, Sister B. Sparrow, Sister Eve, Brother Monster Moshe, Brother Ariel, Brother Mikiel. Shout out to all the servants out there that's humble, man, that's doing the work of the Most High, trying to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Shout out to all of y'all, man. May y'all bless and keep y'all strong, build y'all faith up, keep y'all in the fight. I already know. I will still listen until I clock in. Hey, that's how we be. That's how it be. I'll do the same thing. Yeah, they claiming that he out of donations. They claim he ran out of donations money, Sister B. Sparrow. And then he attacking other YouTubers. He threatened other YouTubers, that's making videos exposing them. Talking about, I'm gonna send a Goonie Goon squad after him. I'm gonna send a Goonie Goon squad after him. He ain't gonna do nothing. He can't do nothing. Yeah, but he using that donation money for himself, though. Always has been. And you gotta use logic. He claimed he brought a school in Philadelphia. It takes more than donation money to build up a school. You need a lot of sum of money. You need a huge sum of money. You're looking at, he needs really a couple of millions for an old rundown building like that that's infested with gangs of roaches and rats. Shalom, Master Moshe. You need a whole plethora of crews and money to renovate a building like that. And you can't do that off of donation money. You can't do that off of donation money. I'm sorry, fam. You can't. You need millions of dollars. You need to hire some electricians. And then he had the nerve to say, I want to hire a black-owned electric company. I want to hire black electricians. I want to hire black electricians so they could work for free. Man, if the heathens electricians ain't gonna work for free, what you make you think the brothers that's electricians gonna work for free? Something for nothing. You see, he wants something for nothing. Dr. Umar Johnson, the Prince of Pan Pizza. He wants something for nothing, man. Don't want to pay the service of the electricians. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he very intelligent. Dr. Umar Johnson, he's very intelligent, but he just falling off. He just falling off. But ain't no school being built though, fam. There ain't no school being built. That school gonna be built in 2030. Ain't nothing gonna be built. That school ain't being built. He gonna take most of that money they donate to him and spend it on himself. $30. FDMG Academy will open its doors in August 30. August 30. FDMG Academy will be opening its doors in the year 30. That's the year 30. At August, FDMG Academy will be opening its doors. Oh, man. Oh, there go the night train passing. But yeah, man, ain't no school being built. I'm sorry to tell any of the Umar Johnson supporters out there, that school ain't gonna be built. Y'all just being scammed out y'all money. There's a lot of scammers all over the internet. you know, and it's sad. You got like a lot of eBay because they use GoFundMe too as a way to scam people. GoFundMe. You know, the funeral be paid for already, and they still got their GoFundMe pages up, asking for donations. I tell you, man, the internet is something else. People use the internet, you know, for all kinds. You know, it's called it e-hustling or e-begging. But yeah, I think they got to Umar Johnson though. I think they got to him. Either they got to him or he just a corrupt man. He just corrupt. He just gotta, you know, he just not right. He just not on the right track. But yeah, all I can say, I just wish the best for the honey pot products. Made more retail stores pick up the sister's products. She should try to try Walgreens next. You know, she should try since Target pick up her products. She should try Walgreens. You know, let the heathens hate, man. It's like they don't want our people to have nothing. You know, like Brother K. Judah always says, you know, soon as we start picking ourselves up by our bootstraps, that's when they get threatened and they feel and they get mad. That's why I say they hypocrites, man. They hypocrites. They got a mental illness. Last night. Yeah. But yeah, I just wish the best for her products. You know, may her products get out there on the map. B. Dixon, hold up. B. Dixon was on the reel today. Shout out to the Honey Pot Company. Let the heathens hate. Let the heathens hate. Yeah, you see that, huh? Yeah, for real. The haters made her instant sensation overnight. Now it backfired on her. That's just gonna make her that's just gonna inspire her to make more products and go hard. You know, and make a whole new line of products. But I just hope the enemy don't get their hands into her products, you know, trying to cut a deal with her and get her to change the ingredients and pick chemicals in her ingredients. Yep. I just hope she don't deal with the small hats. Don't make a deal with the small hats. The small hats, these some shady snakes. Always has been. Everybody's talking about it. It's all over social media. I guess so, you know. Oh yeah, so if she's getting out there, if her message is getting out there, other stores gonna pick up her products. You know, Walgreens might pick up her products. So far, Target selling her products, and I'm sure her products might be on Amazon. She seems like a pretty level-headed sister. Yeah, we gotta adore and cherish that, you know, level-headed sisters. There are a lot of them out there. But Hollywood and the media, they just want to promote the dysfunction of our women, and like they want to promote, the stereotypical black man. They want to show our people in having level-headed. A lot of our people really got level-headed. Level-headed and a good head on their shoulders. Just that they outnumbered by the buffoons of our people. We got too many buffoons amongst our people. And that's what Hollywood and the media promotes. They promote the buffoonery. They promote the buffoonery amongst our people. Oh yeah, she should. Oh yeah, her problem. Yeah, leave us alone, Saltine. Yeah, for real. For real. Yeah, that's a good one. Leave us alone, Saltine. That's right. Jules say do some work, K. Judah. I don't even know if he on the clock yet. He probably driving to work. Take your time, brother K. Judah. The job gonna be there. That's what I tell. I say, man, take your time while you're on the job. Don't rush. He's probably at the red light. Probably so, but shout out to all the sisters, that's making products and doing stuff. That's a trait of a Proverbs 31 woman, by the way. I'm gonna go to Proverbs chapter 31 when it talks about the Proverbs 31 woman. And I'm gonna go at verse 13. Proverbs 31, verse 13. When it talks about this, and it say, watch, Proverbs 31, verse 13, it reads, she seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands, meaning she creating products. She using her hands, she making garments, she making feminine hygiene products or deodorants and stuff, natural products. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She risen also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field, and buyeth it, meaning she buying a field, she buying some land. With the fruit of her hands, she planteth a vineyard. So that's a trait of a Proverbs 31 woman. She's business-minded. A lot of sisters, business-minded out there. Love y'all, family. I'm out. Love you too, brother. You have a safe shift out there, brother. May the Most High be with you and guide you. But yeah, that's a trait of a Proverbs 31 woman. I just wanted to share that with y'all. She's business-minded, Meaning she want to bring her own income in. She work with her hands. Talk, brother. That's right. So as the sister, that's the founder of the honey pot products, she business minded. Shout out to B Dixon. Shout out to that sister B Dixon. You know, any business-minded brother or brother would, you know, they better seek her out, man, and trying to wife her up. You know, she's a good sister and she business-minded. Ain't no Becky's creating things out there. Only Becky doing is looking for a sister to steal from and say that's her creation. That's all a heathen do is steal and copy. Copy and steal. But yeah, her product's gonna do well. Her product's gonna get out there. I give it about a summer. You know, you're gonna probably see all her products in major retail stores. Definitely on Amazon. Definitely on Amazon. Yeah, her product's gonna get out there. They're gonna grow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Master Moshe probably ran to the store. Probably went to the corner store. The thing is, though, she said she was having some kind of vaginal disorder, and a dead relative visit her, gave her some ingredients, and she said put them together and they work. I forgot to mention that earlier. So she was say visit by one of the spirit of a dead relative. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna just probably. She should have just said, you know, that the Most High gave her insight and knowledge. You know, because that ties into that ancestral worship. You know, that African spirituality stuff. Mm-hmm. But you know, I wish the best for her products though. I just hope that the heathen don't stick their hands in it and cut a deal with her and she sell her stuff to the heathens, because the heathens, they gonna put chemicals and they gonna put harmful chemicals in it. She mentioned ancestral worship. Oh man, our people got to get out of that, you know, because all reverence belongs to the Most High, you know. You know, she could have just said, God gave me the wisdom and knowledge to put the ingredients together. She should have gave praise to the Most High. You know, because Dr. Umar Johnson, he be I'm gonna call on the ancestors. I'm gonna call on the ancestors and see and let them guide me about the school and all that. No, man. That's our people got it. You see, our people want to look for any excuse to not worship the Most High. They'll turn to anything but the Most High in Christ. They'll be like, oh, give praise to the ancestors. You know, they're trusting the idols of wood and stone. What about the Creator or the universe? They'd be like, oh, the universe this, the universe that. It's like they don't want to give the praise and glory to the Most High. Yeah, a lot of our people just gotta they just stiff neck. Yeah, ain't no dead relatives come visit you. That be unclean spirits. Because the dead knows what's going on. The dead knows nothing. And that's fine. Let's prove that. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9 about the dead knows nothing. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, and I'm gonna start at the verse 4. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 4, and it reads, for to him that is joined to all the living, there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. Yeah, so if you're still in the land of the living, there's hope for you. What they mean by having hope, meaning repentance. You could get right with the Most High. Start obeying the Most High. Start believing the Messiah. There's hope for you. But if you dead, there's no repentance once you're in the grave. It's too late to repent once you're in the grave. For to him that is joined to all the living, there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything. So there you have it right there. The dead don't know what's going on. Once you dead, you in the grave. You don't know what's going on. You don't care about what's going on. You're dead. As I just read in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 5. This is not my words. It's coming from the scriptures. It says, for the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything, neither have they any more of a reward. For the memory of them is forgotten. Also they love, and they hatred, and they envy is now perished. Neither have they any more a portion forever in anything that is done under the sun. So once all the stuff that you do in this life and did in this life, once you're gone, that's all gonna fade away like a memory. You know, once you dead, you're resting until judgment. And now, of course, you know, when you be resurrected for the day of judgment, the Most High, He gonna show you all the stuff you did in this life, the good and the bad. You know, I just wanted to share that with y'all. You know, the dead knows nothing. Ain't no ancestors coming back and telling you stuff and giving you information. You know, it's unclean spirits. When you got these people around the world doing these seances, trying to contact their dead relatives, man, they contacting unclean spirits. Stop playing with that, family. You know, our people need to stop playing with stuff like that, like with Ouija boards, going to these mediums and all that, these psychics and all that. That's not cool. That's not cool. Not cool at all. Because as it says in 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 23. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 23. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 23, and it reads, "For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Most High, he hath also rejected thee from being king." So you see, he was talking about King Saul, King Saul. King Saul, man, he was rebellious. The Most High done away with him. You know, he didn't want to obey the Most High no more. You know, he wanted to do his own thing. He said, man, I'm not listening to the Most High's wisdom. I'm going to do my own thing. He was rebellion. King Saul was rebelling against the Most High. And the Most High said, all right, you don't want to abide by my rules no more? I'm going to wash my hands with you. And that's what the Most High done. He showed King Saul at the end of the day that he's still the creator and Saul was the creation. The moral of the story is they are no longer controlling the narrative and they feeling that. Nah, we don't know. Maybe they could tell her to say something like that too. About the sister at the honey pot. You know, because sometimes they probably want to give praise to the Most High, but we live in a day and age that they don't want to acknowledge the power of the Most High in the media. So maybe they could have coerced her to say something outlandish like that, because she seems like she's pretty intelligent, the sister. Because any person would be like, look, God gave me the knowledge and wisdom to create these products. I just prayed, and the Most High gave me a vision or gave me the insight to create these products. That's all she had to say. But like I said, I wish the best for her products. She's helping many sisters out there with these products and women. She's helping a lot of women out with these natural products. Because natural products are best for our people. We are natural people anyway. We're natural people, man. All that that's how our ancestors was. They ate organic stuff. They used organic products to help them around the household. Because we are organic people. The Most High made us to be an organic people. But the heathen, they want to turn us into synthetic people, synthetic beings. They want everything to be GMO. GMO this, GMO that, fake this, fake that. That's why they push us to hate each other and hate ourselves and not to love our natural selves. But yeah, they want to turn us into GMO people when they know we are natural people. They want us to follow the foods, the products, everything. But it's all was prophesied anyway. Yep. So I'm going to go to Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. This is for all these vegans out there, and they want to say, oh, they want us to starve and all that. Because, after reading Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13, it doesn't matter if you eat the organic food or go to Whole Foods. At the end of the day, everything is still defiled. And if we're going to prove it, I'm going to go to Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13, and let's see what the word says. Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13, and it reads, "And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat they defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. Whether I will drive them, meaning wherever we go, wherever our people posted at in the four corners of the earth, we're going to eat our food defiled. Our food is defiled. You say we're going to eat our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles. Wherever, hold on, let me get it again. Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. And it reads, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat they defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. So there you have it right there, Mr. Vegan, Mrs. Vegan. It doesn't matter if you're a vegan, a meat eater. You know, everything's defiled. We just got to pray over it. But that don't give you an excuse to eat anything you want, though, because you still got to follow the dietary law, the Levitical law. You still got to follow that, you know. So you could still eat your salmon. You could eat your lamb chops, your beef ribs, you know, your oxtail. Because I know some brews, they like oxtail. I never tried oxtail before, but a lot of Israelites, you know, they talk about it, they say it's good. I never had oxtail before, but they say it's a good eating. But yeah, don't listen to these vegans out there, man. These Israelites that's promoting veganism. Now, if a brother and sister that want to be vegan, I'm not gonna bash them, because that's one thing. It's man to be the vegans bashing the meat eaters. I never see the brothers and sisters that you know, follow the dietary law and eat meat get on the vegans. But I'm sorry, at the end of the day, you still need some meat in your system. That's my opinion. You still need some meat in your system, especially being raised on it, you know, being down here raised in the South, you know, we ate a lot of meat, you know, ate a lot of chicken, beef meat, you know, we ate a lot of pork meat, you know, coming up, you know, as a child, we ate pork, you know, a lot of pork chops, but I don't eat that mess no more, though. But, and I pray for my lost brothers and sisters to give up that swine flesh. What? At oxtails. Yeah. Yeah, some people eat oxtails. They say it's good eating. Yeah, I think it's a delicacy in the islands too. I think a lot of brothers and sisters in the islands is a type of dish, a popular dish too, for the brothers and sisters in the islands. You know, just like in Jamaica, you know, they got jerk chicken. That's a popular dish too, jerk chicken. What popular fish? Well, down here in Louisiana, one of the most popular fish they like to eat is, you know, mostly the unclean fish like catfish. I'll call it river swine, catfish. As a matter of fact, it's crawfish season now. We're about to be in crawfish season now. Yep, it's Lent. It's Lent now, so we gonna be promoting a ball crawfish down here in Louisiana. As a matter of fact, right where I stay at, there's a movie theater. Right there by the movie theaters, there's a place that sell crawfish. They be balling that crawfish, but I don't fool with that no more. Oh, so you tried it before, Sister B Sparrow? Oxtails, all right. Yeah, I figure you probably tried it before, oxtails. They say it's good. I never had oxtail before, but they say it's good though. I'll probably have to get used to the texture of it though, probably. But yeah, they say it's good. Very good. Confirming it already. Very good. But yeah, like I said, don't let these food bullies, vegans talking about, oh, you're eating meat, man. You gotta stop eating all meat. You know, because you got some bugged out doctrines and out there, these buffoons, they want you to starve. They don't want you to enjoy your type of favorite food. As long as the food is honoring the Levitical law, go ahead and eat it. You know. Yeah, I kind of figure that depends on how you cook it. It's beef. Yeah, it is beef. Oxtail, yeah. Ox is beef. Yeah, ox is a beef. Exactly. Yeah, that's how beef meat is in general. Because my mama was telling me, like, you got to cook beef meat a certain way. You got to cook it a good while, because if you don't, you know, different textures of beef meat. Like for steaks, just like when you cook a steak, like a ribeye steak or a T-bone, you gotta make sure it's cooked well done, but you gotta make sure you eat it while it's hot, because if you let it get cold, it's gonna get tough and rough, and you're gonna damn near choke on it. You know, like when you go to a restaurant and sometimes you order a steak and you don't eat it all, you just take it to go and you leave it in the ice box. And you gotta make sure you heat it real good. You can't eat nothing. You can't eat a piece of steak cold. You're gonna choke on it because it's rough. You gotta heat it. You know, you gotta eat beef meat while it's hot. Oh yeah, you go ahead and try to eat a cold piece of beef meat like a steak or something. Man, you damn near gonna choke on that joker. Gotta eat it while it's hot. And you know, we like our beef meat well done. When I cook my steaks on a grill or pan fry, I make sure they well done. You know, not Mr. and Mrs. Heathen. They like this stuff medium rare. They be like, no, cook it on each side for 5 minutes and it's good. Some people, some of them lesser than that. Cook it on each side for 2 minutes and I'm good. Man, it ain't cooked. That's still raw. That meat's still raw. But yeah, I love lamb chops though. Love them. Make a good gravy with some rice, or you could grill them, you know, or bake them. I'm not a steak person, too tough. Oh, okay, that's what's up. Yeah, everybody. What's good? What's up, brother Ariel? What's good, brother? What's good? Yeah, yeah. I don't, you know, when it comes to steaks, you know, I try to eat them, you know, every once in a while, not all the time, because too much red meat not good for you. They say too much red meat, according to the so-called doctors out there. We just chopping it up, brother Ariel. What's on your mind, Zion? You know, as you see the title, what's on your mind? Just talking about random topics, you know, random stuff, you know. Whoever's on your mind, speak it. Whoever's on your mind, speak it. Yeah, Monster Moshe was in the chat room earlier, but he probably had to go run a few errands. And Brother K. Judah went to work. Yo, getting hungry now. Huh? I want some right now. Oxtail tastes good with rice too. Oh, I could imagine that good gravy. Probably make a good gravy. Like I said, I never tried it before, but I bet you a lot of our sisters know how to throw down that oxtail with gravy out there. You know, our sisters know how to cook. They know how to get down in the kitchen. They got 9 death cases in Washington, D.C. alone of the coronavirus, but 60 altogether in America. Man, that joker spreading, eh? Man, 9 cases. Yeah, I'm looking at CBSnews.com. Corona updates. Coronavirus 19 kills 9 people in Washington, D.C. Hold up. I'm on the hold on, let me screen share it right quick. I bet you it's gonna pop up. I bet you they're gonna have a little notification thing. Hold up. Let me screen share it. I'm gonna screen share it, family. Hold up. Let me screen share it. All right. Let me know if y'all can see it. All right, here we go. Coronavirus death toll rises to 9 in Washington State. Oh, it's Washington State. Like the Washington State. Oh, come on, man. All these pop-ups, man. I don't want to hear about no Joe Biden, man. We're talking about the virus. Man, let me. South Korea reports more than 500 new corona cases. Man, that damn virus spreading. U.S. will screen all travelers from Italy and South Korea. Man, they should just stop. They should have a freeze on traveling in general, man. You know, put a freeze on traveling. But we all know this is man-made viruses, though. It's man-made. New Hampshire announced a second presumptive case, corona case. Oh, man. California announces 3 new cases. More than 900,000 cases worldwide. So most of them coming from China. Most of the cases are in China. Yeah, that's Washington State, Sister B Sparrow. Yeah. Yeah, wait. Not DC. That's where you at, Sister B Sparrow. Back. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just post the link in there anyway if anybody want to come through. But yeah, man, we have nothing to worry about. We just gotta, make sure we get cleaning supplies, and most importantly, trust in the Most High. But let me go to let me get that 2 Timothy chapter 1. That 2 Timothy chapter 1. Hold up, man. Let me get this. There we go. Yeah, that's 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. Let's see what it says. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. That's right. He never given us the spirit of fear. And we should be grateful that a lot of cases that's happening in the United States is not happening around where our people dwell at. That's how you know that the God of Israel loves us, man. He's our Elohim. He's our power, our God. Oh shit, what it do, my Hebrew? Yeah, but just like they created these viruses, man, they got the cure for them. Like all these diseases they create, they got a cure for them. You best believe they got a cure for it, because the elite not worrying about it. Like the global elite, they tucked it in their big houses and palaces in their safety or their comfort of their own homes. They ain't worrying about no coronavirus. They ain't worrying about it. Yeah, China, Iran, Italy, and Rome. China warns of massive locust invasion that is set to hit the region. Man, look at that locust. Boy, them locusts is going everywhere. Them locusts is tearing up everything. Hold up, man. Hold up. There we go.
China has been dealing with a lot of issues as of late, but they are about to deal with another massive swarm of problems coming their way of biblical proportions, as they're saying that this massive locust invasion that has wreaked havoc on all these other regions like Pakistan and India is set to enter China through the Tibet region. They're going to come in from the Pakistan-India border, which is where we talked about them locating here recently. And before this, they had went through regions like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, that whole area, just decimating all of their crops along the way. China was promising to send this massive duck army to help fend off this whole swarm. Others were laughing at that, saying that the ducks were just going to sit on the ground. They could not get in the air. All they could do is kind of feast on what was on the ground, and that would be it. All the rest were going to be in the air. They were not going to be able to stop them. They're going to continue to keep on moving and decimating areas. So we have farms getting wiped out left and right. They're hoping that this doesn't decimate the crops in China, but we're just going to have to sit back, wait, and see what comes of this. But this locust swarm on the move, China targeted next. And if it moves on from there, I'll cover whatever country it heads into from there. But it's got to dissipate and end at some point here, you would think. But I'll leave a link below. Check me out on Twitter. And also over here on D Live, exclusive live streams you're only going to find there. Links in the description box. Much love, y'all.
Yeah, man, them locusts, they spread and they going all over. Them locusts. They spreading like wildfire. Chinese, they panicking. They panicking. Oh, yeah, they panicking. But it was inevitable to happen, though. It's all part of the prophecies. Yeah, them locusts, man. Just imagine they spread to the United States. Man, they're going to devastate a lot of crops. It's going to cause food droughts. But so far, it's spreading in those countries, you know, like in China, parts of Africa, parts of the Middle East. They tried to use ducks, they see a duck ornament. Them ducks was like, oh, no, we ain't flying in the air. Shit, them locusts might start attacking them ducks. I guess they figured the ducks were probably trying to eat the locusts, trying to fly in the air and eat the locusts. But the ducks was just staying on the ground, they see on the video I just shared. Purge election year 2020. The Jesuits wrote the script. The Jesuits wrote the script.
President-elect Donald Trump has already thought of the slogan for his re-election campaign in 4 years. In an interview with the Washington Post, the incoming president announced that his slogan for 2020 will be "Keep America Great." However, the slogan was already used in the movie The Purge election year, partly in response to Trump's presidential campaign. Election Year is the third in the Purge horror movie series, which takes place in an alternate America where anyone can commit crime legally for 12 hours on one night every year, put into law by the political party New Founding Fathers in order to drop annual crime rates.
This July, have your voice be heard.
I purged.
I purged.
I purged.
I purged. I purged because staying in is un-American.
Don't let your freedoms get taken away.
I purged because it's my civic duty.
Show your support.
I purged for my family.
For the Purge.
I purged to keep my country great.
The Purge election year.
Every day between now and November to elect more Republicans so that we continue making America great again. And by the way, this is the first for Indiana. Our new slogan for 2020, you know what it is? Keep America great.
I purged to keep my country great.
In my humble opinion, I believe that something huge is about to go down in the United States of America this year, which will definitely impact the entire world. And, you know, whether you call yourself a Christian or not, I think many of us can sense that something is about to happen. We cannot quite put our finger upon it, but even this disturbing trailer that you watched for a movie that is coming out this July 4th weekend, it was brought to my attention by one of my subscribers, Kathy Brown. I thank her for that. I had no idea that such a film was coming out. And, you know, I got to tell you that now the elites to me are being so in our faces. It's not even cryptic anymore. You know, the messages that they're putting in a lot of these movies lately are really showing a lot of destruction, showing the total societal breakdown of America and just the world in general. We're seeing a lot of killing. We're seeing a lot of violence, a lot of bloodshed. You know, these messages are so in our face now. It's not even really cryptic anymore. It's getting so obvious. And, you know, I really wanted to get into, you know, some of the things about this movie. You know, just from the outside looking in, it can just seem like, you know, one of those normal killer kind of movies, lots of, you know, violence and bloodshed and, you know, one of the run-of-the-mill killer kind of movies. But really, when we look into it more, you know, there are definitely the crazy messages that are being put in these films, you know, and again, they're being very blatant, they're being very in our face, but there are still some cryptic things I'd like to show you. You know, Kathy made a point of saying that, you know, even the 923 that I've been discussing in quite a few of my videos, that it definitely could still be pointing to a date. And I don't doubt that. You know, we spoke about how it points to plutonium, the 239 being the atomic number for plutonium. But 923 happens that is very significant on the occultic calendar. And let's just get into that right now. When we look at the Illuminati holidays, I've got a website here from Illuminati Watch on how there are 8 major nights of human sacrifice in the occult holiday system. Okay, and they go on to list the actual dates. Now these are all date ranges actually, but December 21st we know is the winter solstice, February 1st, March 21st, you know, the spring equinox, May 1st, which is May Day, of course, you know, June 21st, August 1st, September 21st, okay, which we're going to focus on today, and October 20th.
So he's shown right here, these are the sacrifice dates of the Illuminati. As y'all see right here, December 21st, February 1st, March 21st, May 1st, June 21st, August 1st, September 21st, and October 29th, 31st. If you ever notice, they all got the 20. They either do it on the 1st of the month or the 21st, if you ever notice. Yeah. Shalom, brother Monster Moshe.
Shalom, my man.
Yeah, I'm just showing this video that you shared with me about the Purge, but I got all the Purge movies. I'm sure you've seen all of them before.
Yeah. Whoa, the Purge.
Yeah.
I didn't. I watched a little bit of the latest one that came out. I think it was the president election one.
Yeah, the third one. Yeah, election year. I think.
Yeah. I only watched a little bit. But the other ones, I got them on my laptop.
Yeah. But man, I'm just looking at this little chart, this little map thing. Man, all they sacrifice dates either be on the 21st or the 1st.
That's when they kill majority of people too. 25th, 23rd.
Yep. But let me continue the video there.
29th to 31st. Okay, so if you go, there's you know, you can find many diagrams of this calendar. We've got the 8 major high days, okay, of the occult. of Wicca, of the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, the mystery religions, these are their 8 main days, okay? And something big happens. And like the other website just said, they actually require human sacrifice. If we go to another website, as this is actually a blog called Heaven Awaits, and they've got the occult sacrifice calendar, you can see that all these dates, pertain to human sacrifice and what happens, on those particular dates, or at least what their requirements are. All right, if we go to another great website called Occult Holidays and Sabbats, okay, they speak of these things, okay, as to what happens, on these days. Okay, again, giving more description. Illuminati human sacrifice nights, again, on the winter solstice. Okay, you've got March 21 to 22nd. Okay, again, it requires human sacrifice nights. We know what happened on 3/22 this particular year. The Brussels bombings, okay, happened right on 3/22. Okay. So that, which was March 22nd. So definitely things are going on those days. Okay, the summer solstice, again, human sacrifice. The autumn equinox, human sacrifice. Okay, it's interesting how they note below that people like you and I, the everyday people, are considered profane, and we're led like a flock of sheep to observe these important festivals of the mystery religion. We don't even realize that our calendar is totally based on pagan holidays. We don't even realize that, and we need to get with it, really, to realize what is truly going on here. I believe that, when the pagan calendar came out and it took us off of the Hebrew calendar, we as Christians, we really should be following the Hebrew calendar, I believe, not this pagan nonsense that has been, shoved down our throats.
Facts, man. Even the 7 days of the week are named after these false deities. Monday, the moon.
Real quick, baby.
All right. Yeah, but I just want to hit my commentary. Like, even the 7 days of the week are named after these false deities. Friday, named after one of the Norse goddesses, Freya, the wife of Odin. Tuesday, Tyr, the Norse god of war. Wednesday, Woden, Odin. It's just a hot mess. Just even the 12 months. March, named after Mars. June. Could be Juno. It's just a pagan hot mess. The heathens knew what they was doing, and they done it all by design. They twisted in the mind. But let me continue the video.
For many years now. Okay, so these are occultic festival satanic times. Okay, so basically on these human sacrifice nights, this article goes on to say that their goal, okay, is to have these following elements as part of their sacrifice nights, okay? And they're to be exaggerated to the highest possible degree, and that is trauma, stress, mental anguish, and sheer terror. The final act in the drama should be destruction by a fire. Fire could be nuke. Fire could be, any kind of fire, I guess, but I guess they want it the bigger the better, preferably by conflagration. People must die as human sacrifices, especially children, since Lord Satan looks upon a younger human sacrifice as his most desirable. Okay, so you can see what is supposed to entail these human sacrifice nights. Again, there are 8 of them. Okay, 8 high days, of these of the Wiccan calendar, of the occultic pagan calendar. These are the high days, and they require human sacrifice. Okay, and they're to be extremely exaggerated. If we go down in this, it goes on to list all the requirements of all these pagan days, including Christmas and Easter. Just as we've discussed before, Christmas and Easter are definitely pagan days, okay? But if we get to the autumn equinox, September 21st to 23rd, and again, the high day of this particular day, Mabon, okay, is September 23rd, 9/23. Okay, so there's your 9/23 connection already there. Okay, so in this time, from this date through Halloween, occultists believe the veil is separating the earthly dimension from the demonic realm. It gets progressively thinner, with the thinnest night being October 31st. This thinning of the separating veil makes it easier for the demonic realm to enter the earthly dimension. Thus, on Halloween, evil spirits, ghosts, witches, hobgoblins, black cats, fairies, and demons of all sorts were believed to be running amok across the land. They had to be back on their spiritual dimension before midnight Halloween. Okay, so this is what they believe is happening. Okay, so around the autumn equinox, the veil is thinning, between the earthly dimension and the demonic, dimension, and things are entering into our earthly realm. If you go to the Wicca website itself, they actually talk about this day, Mabon. Okay, again, this is what we're focusing on today, Mabon, the September autumn equinox, 9/23, crazy date for these people. Okay, according to the Wiccan website, the autumn equinox divides the day and the night equally. Okay, so on that day, there's an equal amount of daylight and there's an equal amount of night. Okay, so sun and moon, okay, daytime and nighttime are equal on that day. So again, symbolizing their dark versus light, as above, so below. They love to show their duality. They love these kind of things. Okay, these are all occultic things that they love to celebrate, even though, having a day that has equal daylight and equal nighttime, there's nothing wrong with that. But, the devil loves to pervert these things and use them for his purposes. And we take a moment, okay, as the Wiccans say, to pay our respects to the impending dark. We also give thanks to the waning sunlight as we store our harvest of this year's crops. The Druids called this celebration Mean Fomir, and honor the green man. Interesting. The green man, nature, Cernunnos, Baphomet, the two-horned god.
Yep. Cernunnos, yep. That's what they get the name of that machine CERN from, Cernunnos. The false deity, the green man of the forest. The green idol with the horns, with the antlers and all that. Yeah, that's who they get that machine name from, CERN, Cernunnos, the green man. Which is a form of the Baphomet, all ties back down to Hashatan, the great deceiver. But let's continue the video.
The god of the forest, by offering libations to trees. See, they worship trees. That's where we saw a lot of tree imagery in previous videos. Offerings of ciders, wine. Okay, they talk about their sacrifices. We can celebrate the aging goddess as she passes from mother to crone. Okay, so the green man, I believe, is code for Cernunnos, Baphomet, the two-horned god. The goddess, the aging goddess, I believe, is code for Semiramis, okay, Nimrod's wife, okay, the pagan,
all goes
Ishtar,
back to
Isis,
Babylon.
whatever you want to call her, from mother to crone as her consort, the god, as he prepares for death and rebirth. Okay, so they're constantly celebrating this death and rebirth of Nimrod, Osiris, Semiramis, Ishtar, Tammuz, whatever you want to call it. That's what they're constantly celebrating. At this festival, it is appropriate to wear all of your finery and dine and celebrate in a lavish setting. It is the drawing of family. You know what? I would never want to bring my family into something like this. Let me tell you, as you prepare for the winding down of the year at Samhain, it is a time to finish old business as we ready for a period of rest, relaxation, and reflection. So, again, it can sound all nice. It can sound so lovely. It can sound like, these witches or this Wicca or the Illuminati, they're not so bad. They're not doing such bad things, and they talk about more things that have to do with this festival. But, as we look at, again, at the bottom it says Mabon is considered a time of the mysteries. Mystery religion, mystery Babylon. It is time to honor aging deities in the spirit world. Considered a time of balance. It is when we stop and relax. Just move my little self out of the way here. When we stop and relax and enjoy the fruits of our personal harvest, whether they be from total.
Look at all the false deities they worship on Mabon. They got the goddesses, Motron, Morgan, Ipana, all Greek. Look like all Greek and Roman and Norse and Egyptian. Ain't nothing new under the sun. All paganism. All false idols that belongs to these heathenistic nations. All these false pantheons that they stem, all they copy and paste from Nimrod and Cernunnos and all these false deities. Ain't nothing new under the sun. They copy and paste.
Rolling in our gardens, working at our jobs, raising our families, or just coping with the hustle and bustle of everyday life. May your Mabon be memorable and your hearts and spirits be filled to overflowing. So again, it could sound so lovey-dovey, so, warm, fuzzy kind of feeling, kind of nonsense, but really that is not what it is about at all. They are not about a warm, fuzzy kind of feeling. They are very evil. Okay, this is not what is happening. If human sacrifice is happening on these days, then we definitely know it is not all warm and fuzzy feeling. This is not a good thing for humanity. This is not something you should be celebrating with your family. Okay, because again, this 9/23, this Mabon happens to be a big time of killing. It is a high day. It requires human sacrifice. Okay, even as on this particular blog says the same thing, from this time of September 21st, the autumn equinox, one of the Illuminati's high human sacrifice nights. Okay, so I believe this is what they're showing even in this movie, because as we get to some of the footage from this movie, I noticed in the trailer that they showed some security cam footage. Okay, now on the security cam, they're not actually saying 9/23, but they're still, look at this one, 3/17. So this is obviously a date in the future. But 321, okay, interesting. When we go back, okay, to the days of these people's, crazy days, of these, pagan days, 321, March 21 is one of the Illuminati's high human sacrifice nights. So here we've got on the security camera, right in this movie of The Purge, they're showing, when you watch the trailer, if you see the movie yourself, they're showing someone coming and shooting this guy right on 321. So human sacrifice being performed right on one of their high days, okay? Right on one of their high days, March 21st, okay? So there you go, that's happening, which the March one is called Ostara. Okay, so right on 321, we know what happened on 322 this year, okay? That major things are going on. Here's another one, 322, okay? Again, showing the Skull and Bones number 322, one of their pie killing days, okay? Again, you can see this kind of thing, 321, again, the date of 321. So they are definitely showing us that, things are happening on that particular day, okay? It is definitely a high day for them, okay? Constantly showing this. If you go to all kinds of pictures, again, you can see these dates being shown, again, 321, okay? So, I mean, it's actually getting very obvious now, okay, that this is definitely not something that is, by coincidence. This is not chance that, on the security cam footage in this movie that they happen to show, okay, this particular date. And again, it coincides right with their holidays, okay, of Mabon or of whatever, or the spring equinox. These are high sacrifice days for the Illuminati / the elite / whatever you want to call them, the mystery religions, the mystery schools, all these people following this nonsense. This is what they're showing in this movie, all out killing. Okay, the Purge is apparently a day where they're allowed to have a day of killing. There's no law. Laws are suspended. They're allowed to do all kinds of nonsense, go out and kill. You even got American people that are saying, oh, I did it for my country. I'm part of the Purge. They make it seem like a great thing, but then they're doing totally psychotic things on this particular night. So it's almost showing like America has gone nuts. America's gone crazy. Okay, so something big is definitely, I believe, about to happen. They even show a scene with guillotines. Okay, we know that, in the Bible, when it comes to the tribulation time, that Christians will basically be lined up to be slaughtered. Okay, I believe all the Christians that they catch as much as they can will be, either executed in many ways, whether it's through guillotine or whether it's through shooting, whatever. But they're even showing this in this movie. I believe this movie is depicting the time of tribulation. I believe there's going to be a big time of chaos. Possibly this chaos could even begin possibly before, the actual tribulation. I don't know whether the Lord's going to allow, a total societal breakdown to occur like this as what is being seen in this movie. But definitely they're showing scenes really to me that depict exactly what scripture says that the tribulation is going to be like, people killing themselves, all kinds of crazy things happening. All right, if we go to another scene, okay, this one of the killers in the scene or in this movie is you'll constantly see this, this Statue of Liberty kind of figure. Okay, but it's got blood all over this person, all over the mask. You've got the double X, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I really want to talk about this Statue of Liberty. Many of us think that the Statue of Liberty is such a wonderful symbol of America, Statue of Freedom. It symbolizes freedom, it symbolizes independence, all that kind of thing. But, if you don't know about the Statue of Liberty, I got some news for you. If you go to a website, and many people have covered this, it's not just this one website. Okay, they talk about some of the top Illuminati symbolism. And now we know that the Statue of Liberty, okay, carries something called the eternal flame. Okay, she carries this torch, okay, which we even see in the Olympic Games. We see on many company logos, this flame imagery. Okay, so this light or fire actually represents something else. Okay, it's called the symbol of the Enlightenment. Okay, so the Illuminati researcher, Dr. Stan Monteith, claims that the Statue of Liberty is the pagan goddess Semiramis. We just mentioned that name. The whore of Babylon, a homewrecker and a harlot. She represents the destruction of the old world order and the creation of the new world order. So what's interesting is that, one of the biggest cities in the world, New York City, has this pagan god, Semiramis, which some have even likened to Apollo, because the face apparently is very close to the Apollo face statues. Okay, the face of this Liberty is literally could be the sun god or the Helios, the sun god Apollo with the rays of the sun on the head. Okay, holding the flame, but it's showing dressed in basically in a robe. It's almost like showing the whole transgender man dressed as a woman, all that kind of nonsense. So you got so much of imagery in this Statue of Liberty. But the fact that this is right there in the harbor, right in New York City, facing New York City, it was even facing the Twin Towers as they fell. Okay, and it symbolizes the destruction of the old world, which is the world we're living in right now, and the creation of the new world order. Now, we've seen that statement made in so many movies. I remember even in Captain America 2, you know, the main bad guy was quoted as saying that we need, in order to build a new world, we need to destroy the old one. Even in the new X-Men Apocalypse movie, you know, the main bad guy saying we need to, you know, destroy the old one so we can build a new world. This, to me, is a more accurate description of the killer Lucifer, of the murderer. He's been murdering from the beginning, as Christ said. Okay, this is a more accurate description to me of what the Statue of Liberty truly represents: destruction, death, you know, all this kind of stuff. Lucifer, the sun god, that's what he is. He is a killer, okay? The Olympic Flame Torch Rally was first introduced by the Nazis in the 1936 Olympics. Prometheus gave fire knowledge to humans. For this transgression, the king of the gods, Zeus, punished Prometheus to have his liver eaten for eternity by an eagle, okay? Links to the Bavarian Illuminati. Weishaupt was aroused by the Zoroastrianism and philosophies of the ancient Parsis. He planned to use fire allegories in the symbols and rituals of the higher degrees of the Illuminati. The color red is prominent in the higher degrees of Illuminati priest and Illuminati regent, okay? So the Statue of Liberty was designed by a Freemason also, Frederick Bartholdi, okay? The name Lucifer means bringer of light. And if you look more into Frederick Bartholdi, he was a French sculptor, I believe. He's the one that sculpted the one that's also in Paris. But it was actually meant for Egypt to be something by the Suez Canal or something like that in Egypt or some kind. Maybe I'm not having the canal properly. Or don't have the right canal in mind, but it was for something to do with Egypt because they all worship, you know, these Egyptian gods or all these pagan gods. You've got many symbols showing this light, you know, the symbol for Columbia Pictures. Then you've got the Prometheus, you know, gold statue outside the Rockefeller Plaza, of course, having the flame in his hand. Okay, the symbolizing knowledge, symbolizing enlightenment. In fact, I believe the original name for the Statue of Liberty was called the Statue of Enlightenment, or, you know, they think that they're lighting the world, you know, with the knowledge of the Illuminati. So you can see what is happening here. Another thing I find interesting about the Statue of Liberty is that it sits on an 11-point star. Okay, you can count it. If you count all the points of this, what it sits on, it is 11 points. And we know that in occultic pagan numerology, 11 is the number for destruction. Okay, so even it's also the number for the Hegelian dialectic, 11, 11, 11, problem, reaction, solution.
Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, 11 points. That Heart of the Babylon statue sits on 11 points. 11-pointed star. And people go out their way to go visit that damn abomination statue. So they be like, let's go see the Statue of Liberty. That abominable statue.
Where I believe that the government, you know, with the elites, you know, create the problem of, say, a nuke, say some kind of destruction, false flag kind of nonsense. The reaction of the people, of course, is panic, pandemonium. You know, they want peace and security, and of course they bring in the solution, which I think is going to be martial law. Okay, so you've got the 11-pointed star that the Statue of Liberty sits in. You've got even this pyramidal kind of imagery. Okay, you've got the different levels of the pyramid. Okay, and then you've got the, you know, Lady Liberty right there, which again I believe is Apollo or Semiramis. You know, Apollo dressed as a woman, or whether it's ISIS. So you've got ISIS, you know, facing New York City. It's no coincidence even that this terror group is named ISIS. Okay, this is all by design. Okay, when we dig more into these things, we can see what is going on, that ISIS is nothing more than a creation of the CIA, and the world governments, I believe, are all involved with this, creating this pandemonium, doing all this nonsense so that they get people to give up their security. So when we look at this character in the movie, I believe this is what this represents. You know, you've got this person dressed as Liberty, but blood all over her, okay, and showing the double X. So I believe this is what the true meaning of the Lady Liberty is so that the Illuminati is showing their plans in plain sight. It is ISIS, it is Apollo, it is destruction. Apollo is actually the god of destruction. Okay, so I believe we can see what is really going on here. All right, so even if you look at Revelation 9, okay, it talks about the beast that comes out of the pit. And what is his name? His name is Abaddon in Greek, in Hebrew, but in Greek he has the name Apollyon. Okay, so this is the god that the Illuminati, that these people worship. I mean, they worship many pagan gods, but one of the chief ones to me is Apollyon, which I believe is Apollo, son of Zeus, which is, Tammuz, son of Nimrod, mother Semiramis. It's all the pagan Babylonian Nimrod religion, all shown, I believe, in this Statue of Liberty, okay, which is what I believe is truly going on here. Of course, we saw that this character also has this double X, on the eyes. Most people think it just has to do with death, but I believe it's a lot more than that. If we look at this IXXI symbolism, is everywhere. The Jesuits majorly use this in a lot of their, their rings, their jewelry. Okay, it represents even the cube of Saturn. It represents, this Nimrod, this Kabbalistic tree of life kind of thing that's going on. Okay, the IXXI is even 9/11. Okay, there's so much of some cube of Saturn. Okay, you can see it also in the occultic, what many people think is the Star of David, but it's not the Star of David. It's actually represents the cube of Saturn and all this kind of Illuminati symbolism that is going on. So that, to me, them showing, this character with the double X on the mask is definitely, I believe, showing that the Jesuits / Vatican / Illuminati are behind all of these things that are going on in the world. The Church of Rome itself, I believe, is headed up there in the Vatican, and they are the ones, I believe, that are behind the elites, that are behind all these secret societies, that are behind the Masons, all these behind the movies being made. These are coming all, I believe, from the Jesuit Freemasons that are running this world, and they put their symbol, their signs and symbols in everything. Okay, so that's what I believe we're seeing in this. Besides, the imagery for Statue of Liberty, the XX is also the, showing that it's the Jesuits, that they, the door is going to open. I believe the double X also symbolizes the door that's about to open to usher in Antichrist, to usher in chaos, to usher in all their destruction and their new world order. All right, then, one of the main characters of this movie, her name is Charlie Roan. She plays a presidential candidate. And of course, one of the main presidential candidates is, who. I don't even want to mention her name because I really can't stand the woman, sorry to say, but I really, I mean, pretty much all of the politicians to me are just all corrupt and are all part of, are all part of the same coin, really. But, this person is being.
Right on, bro. Right on. All these politicians, man, they on the same side. They don't got our best interest. They some walking corpse. They all on the same team. They just play like they're against each other. But at the end of the day, they on the same team. And they don't have the public's best interest. So that's why I say it's all a game. Politics is all a damn game. But people are fighting tooth and nail over these political parties, man. And don't realize it doesn't matter if you claim to be a Democrat or Republican, man. Both of these political parties, man, they on the same wicked team. And they hate your guts. But anyway, let's continue the video.
Being shown as, possibly a woman of promise, that she's going to make changes, that she's going to stop the purge and stop these horrible things from happening. And, she's being, looked on as a hero and possibly someone that people should vote for. But lo and behold, of course, they show a scene with a bunch of suits in a boardroom. And one of them, gets up and says that we need to stop this senator, that they want to keep the purge going. They want to keep these things going because I believe here they're showing, who's really in charge, who's really behind the nations, who's really behind all the world leaders. Okay, so they're definitely showing, the true power behind every leader. And if any leader or actor or whoever doesn't go along with their plan, then they definitely want to kill them. They definitely want to get rid of them. Well, you'll see in this movie that they definitely, as you even saw in the trailer, that they definitely try to go after this, after this lady, after Charlie Roan, who is running for president because she doesn't want to go along with the agenda. So, we can see who is really in control. It is the elites, okay? The people behind the scenes, the shadow government that is pulling the strings. And, all of this destruction that is shown in this movie, there are so many other movies that are showing, such chaos, such as movies that are coming out already, like Batman versus Superman, or the whole Captain America Civil War versus Iron Man. There are tons of battles, tons of chaos, that is being depicted in these movies. All out destruction that is coming. We even saw that in the first Avengers movie, so much destruction happening right in Manhattan. We've seen so much of destruction even in the last Superman movie, with this same character playing him. So much destruction happening when General Zod came to try and take Superman. So there is so many movies. It's not just this one, not just The Purge, okay, that is showing so much destruction. You've got other movies as well, even X-Men Apocalypse showing all kinds of destruction. You've got Superman versus Batman showing so much destruction, Captain America Civil War showing destruction, Avengers showing destruction, X-Men Apocalypse showing destruction. So there is definitely a theme here. You know, you have to be blind not to realize what is truly going on here. And they are being so in our face now. It is so blatant. Okay, something big to me is definitely about to happen.
The raising ceremony, the raising of Osiris from the dead, it's also known as, which is conducted in the temple room on the 3rd floor of the building. It's only then that these masons became evasive and visibly uncomfortable. The reason for this, according to Dr. Horn, is that in addition to the raising ceremony being conducted when members reach the 33rd degree of Scottish Rite Freemasonry, this strange ceremony is performed without public knowledge in this very temple room at the inauguration of every United States president. Why is that? Because deep esoteric meaning behind Egyptian and Rosicrucian magic that was incorporated into the rites and rituals of Freemasonry hold that the spirit of Osiris can be raised from the underworld and installed, for want of a better term, in the reigning king or president. According to Tom Horn, this is why the US Capitol dome is laid out so as to face the obelisk, the phallus of the sun god, known as the Washington Monument.
Yep.
O'Donnell is here live on Monday Night Raw.
Look at that buffoon, man. I remember that beef. Yeah, I remember that beef when Donald Trump was going against Vince McMahon. Two buffoons, two wicked buffoons, two devils fighting each other. Yeah, shalom, reigning woman. Shalom, beloved sister. Welcome back to the chat room, Monster Moshe. Yeah, man, I remember that in WWE when Donald Trump was going against Vince McMahon. Two buffoons at it. Two wicked buffoons.
Hostile takeover of Donald Trump on Vince McMahon has happened at WrestleMania 23. I didn't think he would do it.
Okay, kids, make it fast. I've got a plane to catch.
We've created a magazine. Mr. Trump, we give you Scabby.
Not merely transferring power from one administration to another or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
And we give it back to you. The people.
The people.
For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped.
Hey, that band was a trip in that Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises. Hey, that's how Band-Not is in the comic books, talking like a Russian, man. Hey, Batman, we're gonna crush you. Man, a Hispanic character, man, in the comics. I just wanted to put that out there, but yeah, them Batman movies was a trip.
The rewards of government, while the people have borne the cost.
The oppressors of generations who have kept you down with myths of opportunity.
The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country.
And do you accept the resignation of all of these liars, of all the corrupt?
That all changes.
Hey, I bet you're band immune to the coronavirus. That mask gonna protect him. His mask gonna protect him from the coronavirus.
Starting right here and right now, because this moment is your moment. It belongs to you.
None shall interfere. Do as you please.
January 20th.
None shall interfere. Do as you please. New World Order. Key word, do as you please. Do as thou wilt. He pushing for the Aleister Crowley agenda. Do as you please.
2017 will be remembered as the day the people became the rulers of this nation again. The United States of America
It will endure.
It will endure.
You know, as we know, 239 is the number.
It will endure.
And, you know, as we know, 239 is the number, the atomic number for plutonium. You know, and it could also be a date, you know, September 23rd. We already saw that 9/23 is one of the high days of Illuminati human sacrifice, okay, for blood sacrifice, for killing, okay. So, you know, we can see that there are so many messages being portrayed to us. You've got 239, 923, 921, 922. The same date range from September 21st to the 24th is constantly shown, you know, in movies. You know, go figure that 239 is the atomic number for plutonium. And, you know, we are seeing this in so many movies, so much of destruction.
923. Clearly, he's leaving us a code.
In 9 hours and 23 minutes, you'll be mine.
The Goblin King.
Just keeping you on your toes, babe. 239 pounds! Oh, I'm a blimp. Why are all the good things so tasty?
Release the following health information. Vitals as follows. Age 71 years and 7 months at the time of the exam. Height 75 inches. Weight 239 pounds. Resting heart rate 68. Weight 239 pounds.
Oh no! 239 pounds!
Weight 239 pounds.
Simpson.
You can do it, old boy.
Yes, I can.
Some way to reach him?
Time or date, maybe? September 23rd?
September 23rd, 1780.
This is Agent Dunham. I need immediate evac. 923 Church Street. There's a device on the 47th floor. Nicely done.
Good performance.
By 9:23, the water of life shall proceed forth from the throne of the Lamb, and the day of the Lord shall be a...
I am the chosen one.
Look at that buffoon, man.
I am the chosen one.
You cannot sit back and wait for a savior.
No bomber. President, no bomber.
I am the chosen one.
What do we have in store today? What is this code? We touched on this previously in our previous show discussing some of these codes, and 923 is definitely one of the main codes we were looking at, even coming up to the 2017 Revelation 12 event.
New world order will fail. It's Antichristo. The new world order will fail. Repent and turn to the real Messiah.
So what are we going to share with folks today?
Well, I have been researching the 923 code because it is significant with the birthing of Jupiter 9/23/2017. He's the king of the gods and represents the Antichrist in a way. But 923 also represents 14. And we know that Osiris was cut up into 14 pieces from his brother Set, who is also the brother of Horus. So this code is really a code that has been broken down with many things. And most of all, it's been broken down with unity, because what they want to do is put the pieces of Osiris back together again, just like in our last show. Isis is representing the moon, Osiris represents the sun, and she wants to put all the pieces of Osiris back together again. And that is kind of what Sol Invictus was about also. So we have together, which we had on 7/16/16, which is 777. And this Together 2016 is something that is by Nick Hall. He has a website called Pulse, and he's written a book called Reset with a circle that kind of looks like the Ouroboros on it. And he met with the Pope and everything. And so this was this 2016 gathering that they did on 777, in which 7/16/2016 is also 9/23, represented Osiris. The reason they did it that day was to represent Osiris, the Antichrist, the sun god, to put the pieces back together, because he is in 14 pieces and 9/23 is also 14. This is big because we're in the end times and we're looking at the Pope uniting all religions right now. And they did this around the obelisk, which is a Baal worship tool, a pagan tool to worship the sun, with the circle around the obelisk of Tutmosis III. Well, actually, it's not an original, but it is a copy. And just like in New York, there's a obelisk of Tutmosis III, and the matching one, which is the twin obelisk, is in London. And there's also another one in Paris, and there's many in Rome, etc., etc. They have all the people around the world coming to unite all the religions in order to unite, they say, for Jesus to change things. And that's nice. But this is a goal of the Pope in order to prepare everyone for the Antichrist to worship him as Jesus. There's many evangelists out there in the world. They seem to be very passionate, but when you call people to the altar or call people to the cross, that doesn't get you saved. When whoever's speaking is touching.
Enter ye at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few be there find it. That's right. That's coming from the word, Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 and 14 in the KJV. Daggone Pope leading many people astray, leading people to destruction.
Touched by the Holy Spirit, and they do a call for people to accept Jesus as their Savior in their heart. That is the true gospel of sharing. Jesus shed his blood on the cross for us and died in order to make a way to heaven, and he's the only gate. It's not the golden gate or the silver gate. So we're doing the show today to let people wake up to realize that this false unity that the Pope is calling for, to be able to prepare for the one world religion.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Holy See, followed by the national anthem of the United States.
So many cryptic messages being put out there, you know, even in the video I did about the Invictus Games, and showing the athlete with the 239 on his shirt, and then the other runner showing the skull and bones number, the 223, you know, which reverse of course is 322. So there's so much cryptic messages going on. So, you know, with the plutonium, what I really want to show and end is that this 239 or plutonium, or this code for nuke, I believe is shown in many places. Many of you are familiar with the X-Files that just, you know, that they happened to do season 11, you know, they did 6 episodes. But in one of these episodes, apart from a clip I'm going to show you later on, but, you know, one of the episodes, it was actually called Babylon, okay, because there was so much of crazy things going on. But in a scene where Mulder is literally high on something, okay, he flashes these two things, which we think are just like, brass knuckles. But when you look closely, it actually says mushroom. But Ted O'Malley here is trying to warn, Mulder and Scully of something big that is about to happen. He's trying to show that the elites have a major plan in place and it's going to happen. They're going to stage things. They're going to have, tactical EMPs, strategic EMPs placed in strategic places to go off at the same time. Again, EMP is code for nuke, okay, which Mulder also showed the mushroom again on his brass knuckles there. So are they cryptically showing us things, okay?
Driven not only by corporate greed, but a darker objective.
The takeover of a
well-armed, multinational group of elites that will cull, kill, and subjugate.
Happening as we sit here.
It's happening all around us.
The other shoe waiting to drop.
It'll probably start on a Friday. The banks will announce a security action necessitating their computers to go offline all weekend.
Digital money will disappear.
They can just steal your money?
Followed by the detonation of strategic electromagnetic pulse bombs to knock out major grids.
What will seem like an attack on America by terrorists or Russia.
Or a simulated alien invasion using alien replica vehicles that exist and are already in use.
An alien invasion of the U.S.
The Russians tried it in '47.
You can't say these things.
I'm going to say them tomorrow.
It's fear-mongering, claptrap isolationist techno-paranoia, so bogus and dangerous and stupid that it borders on treason. Saying these things would be incredibly irresponsible.
It's irresponsible not to say it.
Especially if it's the truth.
For the fuck's sake.
2 years, 3 months, and 9 days.
Do you not think an angel rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm? This work continues. The story goes on. And an angel still rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm. God bless you all. God bless America.
Get ready to read all these words on this page without making a mistake. You get the letter at the end and read the sound it makes. Get ready? Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready? Kid. Yes, sound it out. Get ready. Kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. What word? Kid. Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready. What word? Seal. Yes, seal. Read these words the fast way. Get ready? Play. Yes, play. Get ready? Must. Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready? Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready? Kick. Yes, kick. Get ready? Seal. Yes, seal. Get ready? Play. Yes, play. Get ready? Must. Yes, must. Lesson 61.
never see it coming.
Independent Vatican City-State was established in 1929 by the Lateran Treaty, signed by Cardinal Secretary of State Pietro Gaspari on behalf of Pope Pius XI, and by Prime Minister Benito Mussolini on behalf of King Victor Emmanuel III of Italy. Since 1929, the papacy has gathered momentum and today is the most powerful organization. Vatican rule and infiltration is a growing concern within many countries. Every Catholic has a responsibility, obeying the Pope before king, president, or country. So more often than not, a conflict of interest arises when a practicing Catholic holds any public or political office. In past history, the papacy used the armies of rulers and kings to procure her agenda and establish papal supremacy. The Catholic Church has infiltrated the highest levels of government in many nations via the Roman Catholic secret societies such as the Jesuits, Knights of Malta, Opus Dei, Knights of Columbus, and laymen too. Wherever the Jesuits knew that if they could commandeer agencies like the CIA, NSA, the FBI, the Secret Service, as well as placing Jesuit-trained and influenced directors in military and defense roles, the Vatican could ultimately control the US government, coercing other nations to comply with the implementation of the Vatican's New World Order. The Society of Jesus, better known as the Jesuit Order, is the right arm of the Catholic Church. The Jesuits were approved by Pope Paul III in 1540 to counteract the Reformation, but grew more powerfully pervasive than the Roman Catholic Church itself. The Illuminati were simply members of the Jesuit order who were disenfranchised from the Roman Catholic Church when Pope Clement XIV, by the brief Dominus ac Redemptor, suppressed the Jesuits on the 21st of July, 1773. This was under the pressure of leaders of European nations for subversive actions against the state. The Illuminati was simply the Jesuits resurrected under a new guise and a new name. One of the world's most prolific authors had this to say on the Jesuits: "There was no crime too great for them to commit, no deception too base for them to practice, no disguise too difficult for them to assume. Vowed to perpetual poverty and humility, it was their studied aim to secure wealth and power, to be devoted to the overthrow of Protestantism and the re-establishment of the papal supremacy. When appearing as members of their order, they wore a garb of sanctity, visiting prisons and hospitals, ministering to the sick and poor, professing to have renounced the world, and bearing the sacred name of Jesus, who went about doing good." But under this blameless exterior, the most criminal and deadly purposes were often concealed. It was a fundamental principle of the order that the end justifies the means. By this code, lying, theft, perjury, assassination were not only pardonable, but commendable when they served the interests of the Church. Under various disguises, the Jesuits worked their way into offices of state, climbing up to be the counselors of kings and shaping the policy of nations. They became servants to act as spies upon their masters. They established colleges for the sons of princes and nobles, and schools for the common people, and the children of Protestant parents were drawn into an observance of popish rites. The great controversy, Ellen G. White. Every CIA director since 9/11 has been Jesuit trained and have employed the subjugation of nations, building a case to wage war in the Middle East in an effort to neutralize Muslims and to control resources, furthering the New World Order. The allied countries of the United States, such as the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand, are also rapidly losing personal freedoms and liberties, which might soon exceed the restrictions of communist China.
With all the attention placed on the NSA's mass surveillance of American citizens, it's easy to forget the other countries that are taking a page out of the agency's spy book. Just this past weekend, it was revealed that in 2008, Australia's surveillance agency shared information about the country's citizens with its most trusted intelligence partners. Perhaps the most concerning part of this recently leaked Snowden document was the discussion between these allies over whether or not to share the medical, legal, and religious information of Australian citizens. But this story is just a microcosm of the larger international spying cabal.
I always thought that the CIA was the problem and the other intelligence agencies. Guess what? There's a grand intelligence agency that the Vatican puts out, and all of those other crooks are operating under the Vatican intelligence agency. They're all in cahoots, just like all the banks are in cahoots. All of these intelligence agencies are in cahoots too. So
That's
we
right.
are completely being bamboozled.
Yep, indeed.
Now, when you're dealing with what happened 500 years ago, that split got into the hands of wicked spirits in heavenly places, because it is for 500 years. What will we call? Protesters.
Look at that demon. You know he full with unclean spirits. Kenneth Copeland, man, just by his facial expressions, you could see the demons manifesting in that heathen.
What is a protest? Strife. It's and the we haven't been known for the way we love one another. We've been known for our church fights. I mean, you got to know that. But that was the big one. And the longer it went, the more strength that devil gained. These are wicked spirits in the heavens, because it got into governments. Hey, this thing is huge, just huge. And I'm sorry to say, most of the church don't know it's over. But they better find out. I'll tell you what. Oh, one of my favorite days in my life was with Pope Francis. What a man. He's one of my heroes. And this is what he's all about. This whole thing. That's one of the things that got me so on fire about it. And I am on fire. I heard the Lord say this just 2 days ago. 2018 is the year of the Holy Ghost and fire. The big 18 in 2018, the 9 fruit of the Spirit and the 9 gifts of the Spirit. I release, by the authority invested in me as a prophet of God, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ of Nazareth, I release the fire of God. Burn the chaff. Burn.
You said that you don't like to fly commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Look at the demons manifesting in
human beings are
Kenneth
demons?
Copeland.
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Look at his facial
Do
expressions.
you really believe that
Them demons manifesting in Kenneth Copeland. He looked like one. Watch. Watch them facial expressions. Just watch.
beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Hey, look, don't you ever say I did. Damn Satan manifesting in that heathen.
Human beings are demons.
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Look how he's shaking his hand.
We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
I'm surprised that news reporter ain't terrified, ain't shaking. You know, I'm surprised she didn't back off, ball, because demons was coming out of him. Ball, I said, "Don't you ever say that."
Believe that human beings are demons.
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
And don't you ever say I did. Like he threatened them.
We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
Can you explain what you meant by that by that term then? Just explain, because it's really simple. You said you didn't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. What did you mean?
Well, let me ask you.
Do you think that people that fly commercial are demons?
Give me a chance to talk, sweetheart. I'll explain this to you. But it's a biblical thing. It's a spiritual thing. It doesn't have anything to do with people. People, I love people.
Well, listen up. There is a storm coming like nothing you have ever seen. And not a one of you is prepared for it.
guys know what this represents?
Tell us, sir.
Maybe it's the calm before the storm. What's the storm? Could be the calm before the storm.
The goal of a mass casualty event is to make order out of chaos. It will start with chaos, and it will end in order.
Daniel Cassidy, you know he a small hat by his last name. You know he a Khazar, an imposter.
Question is how fast we can get order out of the chaos.
Or the purge. I purged to keep my country great.
All communications are down. The government is silent. We don't know who or what is causing this.
Nothing happened the way it was supposed to happen. 7 billion people on Earth when the infection hit.
There was so much chaos after the outbreak.
The outbreak caused a huge sell-off in the global stock market. South Korea is no exception. The Kospi dipped below the 2,000-point mark, and Wall Street was also down for a 6th straight day. Here's Kim Mo-gyun with a breakdown of the numbers.
South Korean markets were gripped again Friday by fears about the spread of the coronavirus as foreigners continued their selling binge for a 5th straight session. The benchmark Kospi closed at 1987 on Friday, down 3.3% from the day before. This is the first time the index has finished below the psychologically resistant level of 2,000 points since last September. It was another of the massive sell-offs by foreigners that began on Monday. The tech-heavy Kosdaq also nosedived by 4.3% to close at 610.7, while the Korean won gained slightly against the U.S. dollar, closing at 1,213.7. An expert in the industry says investors just aren't sure how the authorities will handle the outbreak itself and the economic fallout.
Clearly, the decline of the prices has been quite severe. The peak recently was in January. It went up as high as 2,277. Now we are at 1987. So clearly more than almost 300 points decline. So if you calculate that, that is more than 13% decline from the peak to bottom. The main reason for this is that people are uncertain about the policies as well as the government stance on this.
Stock markets in the U.S. have also posted some of their worst ever losses on Thursday local time. The Dow dropped nearly 1,200 points on Thursday, and the worst one-day drop in history in terms of points. The S&P 500 posted its worst day since 2011, losing more than 4% to 2,978. The Nasdaq also fell 4.6% to 8,566.
Today, you've seen the stock market, it went down 800 points, then it was only down about 200 points, and the last time it was about 600 points. And what that's telling me is that the situation is very fluid, and any information that's coming out is there's an overreaction.
With the number of coronavirus patients increasing around the world, the instability in global markets is likely to continue.
Some analysts are saying this is the biggest market disruptor. The coronavirus is the biggest market disruptor we have seen in recent years.
That's right. We are off the opening lows, nonetheless, right now on pace for the worst day since last August when trade fears really hit this market.
The massive stock market plunge, this outbreak is beginning to have a real impact on the economy here and around the world.
The Dow is now down nearly 900 points. That is just over the course of the last 34 minutes since we have been on the air.
The global sell-off is what's really contributing to the momentum here on the downside. Among the worst performers today, obviously over in Italy, where they saw a big spike in the numbers, and as well in South Korea. Those are two of the biggest outbreaks outside of China.
Stock market, and you were warned it was going to be a rough opening on Wall Street this morning. Stocks actually around the globe have been really taking a hit. The U.S. stock market futures takes a dive over fears of a spike over the global threat of the coronavirus.
I'll be back. The next time I'm back, I may not be wearing a suit.
Whoa, so the original name for Washington, D.C. was Rome, Maryland. Wow. Rome, Maryland. That figures. So basically, Washington, D.C. is like a little Rome, like how they got little Italy, little Haiti, little Cuba, little Rome. Washington, D.C. is little Rome of the United States of America, or I should say, the United Snakes of Babylon. You know, little Rome. That's what I'm going to call Washington, D.C., little Rome. And you best believe they all was goat riders. They all probably was belong to the Masonic order. Every last one of them pale heathens probably was some daggone Masons. Goat riding son of a beep.
Happiness he turned like a string on a thread. Coming towards her, stock still no turning back. She hear around the corner and she eat on the bed. She killed it with kisses, then for honest she fled. With every bubble she sunk with her dream and washed it away down the kitchen sink. The dark days are over, the dark days are done. The hard days are coming, so you better run. Run fast for your mother, run fast for your father. Run for your children, for your sisters and brother. Leave out and love them behind. You can't carry it with you if you want to survive. The dark days are over, the dark days are done. Can you hear the horses and here they come?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Donald Trump Museum, dedicated to America's #1 citizen and America's greatest living folk hero, the one and only Donald Trump. Learn the amazing history of the Trump family.
Somebody criticized me the other day because they asked me what I do, and I said, I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. I don't care.
And I guess I have some very good enemies, and I like it that way somehow. And I really believe in trashing your enemies.
Inside, you will learn how Donald Trump's father left him a large inheritance.
Nobody's going to do more women than Donald Trump. That I can tell you. That I can tell you. And I think they know it.
Discover how in 2016, Donald Trump successfully lobbied to legalize gambling.
Part of the beauty of me is that I'm very rich.
He wants to run for president and move on into the White House. Why not?
Share in the stupidity of the average American as they made him the 45th president of the United States.
That will easily go down as the greatest president in the history of the United States. Me, Donald John Trump.
No! Hey, no! Hey, wait, you come with us upstairs. There we go, Sonny. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. The easy way.
We are going to make our country great again.
Shaking My Head Productions. Awake and be sober. Yeah, it was a very informative video. Shout out to Brother Monster Moshe for sharing another video by Shaking My Head Productions. Showed a lot of very information on that. But we're about at 2 hours. It's about 2 minutes to 11 o'clock. I'm sure some of y'all probably went to sleep. It's all good. Y'all have been tuning in with another live stream with Brother Moshe Ben Yahuda Yisrael. Shout out to everybody that watched and tuned in. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to Brother Ariel, B. Sparrow, Monster Moshe, and Randy Woman, and Brother K. Judah. Good night, Ak Moshe, Ben. You rest well, Brother Monster Moshe. Rest well. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream because I'm pretty sure we got things to do. I don't know what time Sister B is going to go live tomorrow, but I'm going to try to catch the live tomorrow. It was the will of the Father. But until then, this is Moshe Ben Yahuda Yisrael, Ak Ben, telling y'all shalom and peace. Until next time.